welcome back to my channel! I don't have an intro, but my name's Rosalina, and we're gonna do a story time today. I want to start this video off by saying I can't believe the amount of positive feedback and support that I got from my intro video. That video has over 300 views, and I have 33 subscribers. I didn't even think one person was gonna watch, let alone 300 people, let alone have 33 people who want to keep following me on this shit show adventure. So I wanted to thank you guys so much for all of the support, and it really motivates me to make videos because obviously you guys want to watch them. So you read the title correct. This story is going to be about the time that a creepy old man stole my underwear. Let's just jump right into it. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of like a background story, and it'll all kind of tie in together and make sense as the story goes on. When I was younger, this happened when I was around 3.5, 4 years old, and I was living in an apartment complex, alright? And the way this was set up was there was a basement, first floor, second floor, third floor, and I think possibly a fourth floor, but that fourth floor doesn't matter in this story. And I remember this day so fucking vividly because I got my ass reamed for what I did. It was early Saturday morning, and I'm sitting in the middle of the living room, and I'm playing with Barbies, and I'm watching SpongeBob, and my mom is sitting on the couch, like right here, okay? And she had fallen asleep. She had worked crazy hours. She worked all the time, and I was just content playing by myself and watching SpongeBob and doing whatever it is a 4-year-old girl does. Alright? On the other hand, my mom and dad had like a set routine on the weekends. He would get up, get dressed, feed me, wake my mom up if he saw she was asleep, and then leave to go do whatever he had to do. On this particular morning, he got up, got dressed, and left, and said bye and left. So, he didn't wake my mom, and he didn't feed me. So 4-year-old Selena heard the door slam and said bye to Dad, and just looked around and was like, where the fuck are my corn pops? Like, I was pissed. So I get up, and I'm wearing a Barbie nightgown, and my hair's all messy from sleeping, and I march my little 4-year-old self into the room, and I put on these pink SpongeBob foam sandals, and I Velcro those bitches up, and I walk right out of the apartment. Didn't wake my mom up, didn't tell her where I was going. I was just so fixated on these corn pops. So I walk down the stairs, and I get to the entrance that leads outside, and the entrance is like right here. There's a turn, and it's all sidewalk and then road to like get out of the complex. So the sidewalk turns into a hill, goes down, and then leads to a main road. So I'm walking, and I'm looking for my dad, and I'm looking for my dad's car, and there's an old man standing right in the middle of the sidewalk. And for the purpose of this story, we're going to call him Rocco. I don't know why. That's the first name that popped into my head. Okay? But Rocco was standing in the middle of the sidewalk, and he was around 50, 60 years old, tall, slim, scruffy, had wrinkles, white gray hair, and just, I remember him looking dirty, like he hadn't showered. So Rocco looks at little 4-year-old me walking down the street and goes, where are you going? And I'm looking around, I'm like, explaining to him how my dad didn't give me corn pops this morning and I'm looking for my dad. That's all I remember before my dad showed up. And my dad told me that he just so happened to look in his rearview mirror and saw Rocco talking to his 4-year-old daughter who is outside unattended. So you bet your ass he whipped a U-turn around and pulled up, ripped me by my arm, brought me upstairs, and I got screamed at. Why do you think it was okay to leave the apartment? Why didn't you wake up your mom? Why are you talking to strangers? What is wrong with you? And I was just like, I'm sorry, I was just hungry. I promise I'll never do anything like that again. And I never did. You have to understand though, this was not our first encounter with Rocco. My dad had car troubles one morning on his way to work, and Rocco just so happened to be outside again, and went over and helped my dad fix the car and get it started and ended up leaving. But by all means, Rocco was a stranger. We He was not considered a family friend. We did not invite him over for dinner. It was a neighbor helping a neighbor in need kind of situation, and that was it. Rocco also had a girlfriend, and we lived on the second floor, and Rocco's girlfriend lived on the third floor. And her bedroom was over my bedroom. And we're going to call Rocco's girlfriend Elizabeth. Yeah, we're going to call her Elizabeth. And Elizabeth was super, super skinny. She was tall. She had really pin straight hair. And she had like bags under her eyes. And she was around, I want to say late 40s, early 50s. So that's all the background information that you need to know about Rocco and his situation. So let's fast forward a couple months, shall we? In the complex that we were living in, the basement had a laundry facility. So there was washers and dryers on the side, and then there was a door straight back. And that door led to another apartment, and that apartment belonged to Rocco. So my mom was doing all of our laundry, and she had went back upstairs because I think she was cooking dinner. And she came back down, and she opened the door to the basement / laundry facility, and there is Rocco, elbow deep in our laundry, okay? And the way my mom described it was, he was elbow deep in there, and he just was like, shook. Like, this man was shook. And my mom is looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? And he bolts it back into his apartment building. My mom starts taking everything out of the dryer into the basket, and she's sorting through everything. And she notices that 2 pairs of my underwear are missing. We can put 2 and 2 together, right? Creepy old man is standing outside asking a 4-year-old girl where you're going and what you're doing. Same creepy old man steals said 4-year-old girl's underwear. My mom went ballistic. She was pounding on the door. Open the fucking door! What the fuck is wrong with you? And it was just like nobody was home. He wouldn't answer. The door was locked. My mom runs back upstairs, grabs my dad, tells him what happened, and he is even more pissed than she is. They run back downstairs, and now my dad is kicking the door, punching the door, calling him every name in the book, and was like, we're gonna call the police on you. That's exactly what they did. My parents called the police, and a couple officers come, and my parents tell the officer their story. And one of those officers ended up working really closely with my family during the whole trial that had went on. And he was super nice, super cool, super helpful, just like a really cool, like, chill cop. So they end up getting a warrant to search Rocco's apartment. So they go into Rocco's apartment, and there are sex magazines stacked floor to ceiling sex magazines. And they grab all of those, and they go through all of them, and there was no child porn in there, so they kind of just put that off to the side. They go into Rocco's room, and their main purpose was trying to figure out where my underwear was and why this man stole it. So they're looking under the bed, and you know those rectangle cardboard boxes that like you store copy paper in? He had 2 of those shoved under his bed, and they took them out, and there was clean underwear, dirty underwear of all shapes and sizes. And you know damn well that those weren't his girlfriend's underwear because his girlfriend was this big all the way around. Everybody knew this wasn't his first rodeo of going into the laundry facility and stealing underwear that didn't belong to him. So they put that off to the side. They still can't find my underwear. They take the blanket and they pull it back off of his bed, and they find my underwear. And my underwear is on a blow-up sex doll. Immediately, everybody's thoughts start racing. So the police interviews Rocco and says, first of all, why'd you steal a 4-year-old's underwear? And second of all, why is it on a blow-up doll? Like a sex blow-up doll, dude. Like, what the fuck? Rocco's response was, I'm not into kids like that. I just took the underwear because I knew it would fit my blow-up doll perfectly. You're telling me that your creepy ass couldn't drive to Walmart and go pick up a 4-year-old's pack of underwear and say you were buying it for your grandchild? Like, come on, dude. There was no reason. I don't buy that for a second. They end up going through his computer, and like I said, they went through all of the sex magazines. There was no child pornography, no pedophilia, so they couldn't bring him up on charges on that. The cop asked my parents, okay, what do you want us to do about this? Do you want to bring him to court about it? What do you want us to do to make you feel more comfortable? And my mom goes, yes, I want to press charges, and I want his ass out of here. I want him evicted. Like, bye, see ya, sayonara, get the fuck out of this complex. So the cop ended up granting her wish. So Rocco got an eviction notice, and it gave him 30 days to go find somewhere else to live. So during those 30 days, we find out that not only has Rocco been evicted from the complex, but he's also losing his job. So now, every time my parents are walking around the complex or coming in and out of the apartment and going outside, Rocco is just like staring at them. And they're really uncomfortable because they didn't know Rocco like that and didn't know if Rocco was going to retaliate against them. So the end of the 30 days is coming, and Rocco's getting ready to move out, and the police officer calls my mom and says, you know that Rocco was brought up on charges. We're in the middle of his trial. Like, we would like you to come sit at the bench and give your statement of what happened. My mom said, absolutely not. I'm not comfortable with that whatsoever. He still lives in this complex, but I could give you a written statement if that'll help anything. And the cop was like, all right, I'll take what I can get. That's fine. My mom ended up going to the station, writing it out, giving it to them. So the 30 days is up. Rocco's creepy ass leaves. And a couple months go by, and my family is still uncomfortable. Because, mind you, Elizabeth still lives on the 3rd floor. So just because Rocco's creepy ass was evicted doesn't mean he's not going to come to the apartment building and come see his girlfriend. So as a family decision, well, my mom and dad, I wasn't old enough to have a say, we decided to move. And now I'm living in the house that I am now, and this is where basically I grew up. What never sat well with me was that he had to take my underwear to fit his blow-up doll, okay? You can be into whatever you want to be into. That's fine. I don't judge. I don't give a fuck. But why are you dressing and sleeping next to a blow-up sex doll when your girlfriend is upstairs, 2 to 3 floors up from you? And don't, trust me, they were doing their thing up there because my mom always told me that they were jumping on the bed. Okay, so you catch the drift. If you can take anything from this story is watch your back, beware of your surroundings, and just be careful because you never know who is living next to you or above you or below you. You just don't know. And it's better to be safe than sorry because God only knows what would have happened that day when I wandered out of the apartment if my dad did not just so happen to look in his rearview mirror. You don't know what could have happened. So please just be safe, watch your back, be aware of your surroundings at all times. So that's it for the story time. Please hit the subscribe button down below. I'm going to link all my social media in the description. Leave a comment about what topic you want me to do for the controversial conversation video that I'm going to be doing. I kind of have a rough idea of what I'm going to do, but I'm totally open-minded if you guys have any topics. And until next time, I still don't have an outro because I'm a piece of shit. Bye!